Hello there, my name is Voland. I'm the guy behind the project Wim, and in this video I will show you how easy it is to set it up and get it up and running. So first of all, you come to the GitHub page and you will read the dependencies. Vim 8, Vim plug will be installed automatically, Node.js and npm, Excel, FCF, Figlet, and a nerd font. So first things first, we're gonna come into our terminal. This is a fresh Arch installation. It's actually EndeavourOS, but EndeavourOS is Arch. So we will run this command sudo pacman-sy node.js npm figlet fcf vifm and excel. Now you don't actually need all of these. Node.js and npm are for the completion engine, which is COC completion engine, and in case you want to use another completion engine, you have to actually edit the config file and add your own preferred completion plugin, such as YCM or whichever you prefer. I don't like YCM because it depends on too much Python stuff. I'm not a Python hater, it just depends on too many of those packages. Figlet is for the ASCII art. It's for, let me show you the pictures. It's for this thing that you see here. If you don't care for it, don't get it, doesn't matter. And FCF is for the fuzzy finding stuff. And VIFM is a Vim-like file manager in the terminal. It's very nice, and Excel is actually absolutely crucial because I assume you want to be able to copy stuff around. Now, Vim being a CLI app doesn't have a shared clipboard with GUI apps. It's just the way it is. So Excel will fix that with the help of a plugin. These two are for the completion engine, Figlet is for the ASCII art, FCF for the fuzzy finding stuff, and VIFM is just a terminal file manager. So I've already installed this. It's a very small download size. It doesn't even get up to like 50 megabytes, I think. Yeah, there you go. It's just 49 megabytes, all of them together. So I'm not going to reinstall them naturally. And let me clear the terminal. The next step is you come into the release link or page. I've recently released a second version of Vim. It comes with auto installation, it auto installs Vim plug, it auto installs the plugins, and it's actually a lot more convenient than the first version, in my opinion. It's an actual improvement and a better support for tmux and a lot of other stuff. So we're going to download this vim-2.1.vimrc, and I'm going to wait for it to download. Now, if I actually cd into my downloads folder and do an ls, we can see that this file is there. But in order to get it working, we need to actually put it into our home directory. Now I have a very vanilla Vim here. If I open it with Vim into my download folder, it won't actualize because it's not a directory which Vim would use to read its config from. That would be in the home directory. This statement here, right below the plugins, let data up to end if, it's what's responsible for installing Vim plug and installing all the plugins the first time you basically run Vim with my vimrc. So if you don't want this functionality, comment this out or delete it completely. But then again, you're gonna have to do a lot of manual work, such as the first version. So you have to rename this file to .vimrc. An extra space here. There we go. Now if I do an ls-r, we can see that the file is there. We're gonna run mv again, and we're gonna move it to our home directory. It's unnecessary. I think it will just work like this, and we'll cd back into my home directory. I will do an ls-r here, and I have the .vimrc here. So now if I launch my Vim, you can see that it's going ahead and it just installed Vim plug. Press enter to continue. Don't mind the errors. These errors are actually because there are some functions written into vimrc that are regarding some of these plugins that aren't yet available. So once they're available, the functions will work and you will no longer get this annoying error thingy. Let it install its stuff, let it do its job. It will take like a minute or two depending on your machine. So I'm gonna actually wait for it to finish installing. As you could probably see, it felt like it was hanging in there for a couple of moments there, but then it started working again. So that's what I mean by saying don't panic, let it do its thing. Right, then it's installed. So let's get out of here and come back in, and it's pretty much already functional. capital V gets us into our vimrc. We can now come down here and comment out this statement, space cc to comment it out, space w to save it, space op to source it. Now you can see that you don't have icons actually. That's because we're not using a nerd font. So in order to get the icons working, all we have to do is to come here. I've added a bunch of hack nerd fonts. You can use whatever nerd font that you like. I just happen to like hack, and I think I'm allowed to share them because I believe they're licensed under a GPL license. So please do tell me if I'm not supposed to share them in my repo. So I'm just gonna get the regular nerd font complete TTF, and let's go back here and let me cd into my downloads folder again, get an ls here, and we have the hack nerd font, which is a part file because it's not finished downloading yet, and now it is. Alright, so what we need to do is we actually have to copy it to our USR share fonts folder. So we have to do a sudo cp because the USR directory is in our root file system. So we do sudo cp, and we will do hack, and we will copy it to USR, if I can type, share and fonts, yes, sudo password. There we go. Now we will cd back into our home directory, run fc-cache, which updates your font config cache, and then we will close the terminal. It's mandatory that you do close the terminal. We will open it again, go into its preferences, however it is that you set the font. We're gonna just go and set the nerd font. As you can see, I have hack nerd font. I've chosen a big size because I'm practically blind with these things because I sit far from my display, and now I will have icons should I launch Vim. There you go. So you have icons, and it's actually a very nice icon set. We have a big V for a vimrc file. We have a like a gear thingy for bash rc file. It's nice. It's nice to have icons. Anyway, so it's up and running, it's working. The only thing that you need to do at this point is to decide which languages you want to be auto-completed. Now, snippets work for every language, almost every language, but the COC completion, you need to actually install a couple of things. So refer to the list of auto-completion languages and add the ones you'd like with cock install, example, cock install cock-css for CSS completion. Now, we will open the list and let's look for bash. It's right up here. So via coc-sh. That's easy enough. We're gonna come here, get into the command mode, and do a coc install. And remember that it's camel cased, which means the first letter of every word is a capital letter. And then we will do small case coc-sh.